Yes. You're good to start commentating whenever.
Oh, okay. Okay, 4th and 11 for the Inderkum Tigers. Look like they're in punt formation. Number 2, it looks like number 2, Cole Aircraft, back to receive the punt. Fair catch. Successfully fielded at around the 30-yard line. So now trots on the Roseville offense. Last drive had something going until Joe Bryce unfortunately fumbled.
So we're streaming right now. But no Twitter.
Tigers under center. Handoff inside run. Inderkum plugs the hole nicely. Gain of maybe 2 or 3. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 now for the Roseville Tigers. Carry from Malik Bowman. Motion, and we give this to number 7, Jackson Shedd. Gain of maybe a couple more. Gain of 4, 3rd and manageable here for the Roseville Tigers. This situation, they often go to Joe Bryce up the middle. We'll see if they do the same, but who knows if he can be trusted at this point after the... Is it good?
And the handoff up the middle. Good for a Roseville Tiger first down. Ball placed to the 44-yard line, Malik Bowman. His final game as a Tiger, or final regular season game as a Tiger, excuse me. Tigers under center once again. Give up the middle once again. Looks like Joe Bryce this time. Maybe a yard on the carry. Looks like no gain on the play. Tigers under center once again. Yet to go in shotgun this game. Give up the middle again. Maybe 3 or 4 on that carry. Bringing up 3rd down. Another 3rd and manageable for the Roseville Tigers. We'll see if they go for their first pass this game. Malik Bowman in the backfield for the Tigers. They do pass it, and they go for the big body tight end, Tommy Spencer. It's overthrown, unfortunately. And that brings up a 4th down. It looks like the Tigers are going to come out in a punt formation. 2 underwhelming drives by the Roseville Tigers to start the game. First, Joe Bryce fumbling, and now getting stopped on a 3rd down, looking like they're going to punt. Back deep is number 7, Dino Watson for the Inderkum Tigers. By far leading their team in yards this year. Good punt. Watson fields at the 9, takes it up. The Tigers are there to gang tackle him after a little stutter step. He is brought down by a number of Tiger defenders, including number 14, Connor Wilson. Leaving the ball at around roughly the 18-yard line. Out comes the Inderkum offense again, led by their quarterback, J.J. Ray. Last drive, 3 and out. Thought they might have had a long completion to Dino Watson, who was well defended by Cole Earhart. And the give is to number 7, Dino Watson. And there's number 1, Tanner Ruby for the Roseville Tigers. Great play. Watson has been doing that all year for Inderkum. Tanner Ruby reached for him while getting blocked and made a nice play. Second and 8, a 2-yard gain on the jet sweep. Inderkum in their usual formation here. Motion, and the give is up the middle, and it is well played by Roseville. Give was to the fullback, Willie Hardy Jr. Roll out by J.J. Ray. Looks like he's going deep, and he finds number 2, Aaron Espero. Shakes the defender and gets hit. Down to the 40-yard line. Espero, their touchdown machine this year, with a nice completion on a little 10-yard out route. Getting them roughly to the 41-yard line. First down of the game for the Inderkum Tigers. Nice throw by J.J. Ray, rolling out to his right, and a good catch by Aaron Espero. Another motion. And to give us to number 2, Espero. Back-to-back plays, and he has a hole out to the 41-yard line. Espero is producing for Inderkum. Seems like their safety blanket early in this game. 4:06 left to play in the first quarter. Still no score on either side for either of the Tiger teams. J.J. Ray under center again. And to give us to Watson on the end around. And they are swarmed. Big hit. Cole Earhart slowed him down, and then a huge hit by number 23, Aiden Mums. Excuse me, not Mums, Munns. A great play to finish it. Roseville team is stopping that jet sweep that has been so reliable for Inderkum throughout this whole year. He gives us to Espero, and they stop him this time for a huge loss. Espero, who's had 2 nice plays so far on this drive, just absolutely gets swarmed by the Roseville defense. And we're looking at a 3rd and long for the Inderkum Tigers. Roseville defense holding strong on 1st and 2nd downs this drive, it seems like. We'll see if they can get a stop on 3rd down and force Inderkum to punt the ball, or possibly try to have to convert on 4th down. Ray under center again. A waggle rollout to his left. Throwing off his back foot, and it is almost picked by Tanner Ruby. He had one right in his hands and took his eyes off the ball. But it will force a 4th and 16 for Inderkum, and they will punt for the 2nd time this game. Tanner Ruby just had a gift in his hands and unfortunately dropped it on his senior night. Nonetheless, a good play jumping the route. J.J. Ray with a risky play early in the game. And Inderkum is back to punt. The number 2 Colt Aircart back deep. And a wobbly punt in the air. Looks like it's going to go in the end zone. Oh, and it is a touchback. Inderkum came very close to downing that on the 1-yard line, but a little too much spin on the ball on the punt. Giving Roseville the ball at the 20-yard line. They now trust the offense, for the third time this game. This has been a defensive game so far, and a game that decides who wins the league. Inderkum coming in 5-0 in league play. Roseville 4-1. If Roseville wins this, they will end up 5-1 right next to Inderkum, and due to the tiebreaker, will take the lead. The toss to number 22 bounces outside, sheds a tackle or two, but Inderkum ultimately makes a nice play. Inderkum being not only one of the top teams in the Sac Joaquin section, but one of the top teams in Northern California, having playmakers all over on offense and a stout defense with some big eyes on the defensive line to stop the run, which is what Roseville has been successful with this entire year, running the ball. The first 2 games with Aaron Ashima, Malik Bowman's been in there, and Joe Bryce and Cole Aircart have been the ones who carried the torch at the end of the year. 2 receivers outright for Roseville. Look like they're in an I formation under center, and the give to Bowman, and he is stopped. This Inderkum defense is not messing around with the run defense right now. Really just doing their thing right now, stuffing the gaps. It is a 3rd and 6, so another 3rd and manageable, but against this Inderkum defense, a 3rd and manageable seems like a 3rd and forever. You can see Aaron Espero out at safety. Is one of the only players for Inderkum to play both sides of the ball. Really impressive for how well he's played this year. Tigers under center. Looks like 12 is changing the play, and Coach Catalico takes a timeout for Roseville. First of the half. Looks like Roseville tried to draw Inderkum off sides. Unsuccessful. Cooper Thompson looked like he was going to change the play, but ended up not being able to due to a timeout taken by his head coach, Joe Catalico, who ultimately has really made a huge impact on this Roseville Tigers team this year. Going from a very average year last year, below average year, in fact, and they're just playing good Roseville football. They're tough, they ground and pound, and then they'll go over the top here and there to Jackson Shedd and the Oregon State recruit, Tommy Spencer, who seems like he towers over DBs at 6'5". And we're back here on the 25-yard line at 3rd and 6. We'll see if Roseville can convert. Inderkum's defense has played stout on 3rd downs this game. It looks like it's a pass. Pressure, and the ball is ripped away. Jackson Shedd unable to come up with it. Good coverage by Inderkum. And it looks like Roseville will be punting for the 2nd time this game on their 3rd drive. Both defenses playing well right now. Number 7, Dino Watson, back to receive the punt. See if Roseville can get as good of a punt as they got last time. And a wobbler, and it really doesn't go anywhere. Roseville's got to down it. Number 2, Cole Aircart does, and it looks like it'll be at the 38, 39-yard line-ish in Roseville territory. Inderkum gifted with great field position on this drive. We'll see if they can capitalize against a Roseville defense that a couple big plays from Aaron Espero, but other than that, they have played really, really, really good. Inderkum's really done what they've needed to this year, honestly. I mean, when you're one of the best teams in all of Northern California, there's something to be proud of. In shotgun, and a QB keeper to J.J. Ray, and he just runs into a brick wall. The Roseville defense, Tommy Spencer, number 85, and number 78, Braden Grover, both 6'3" plus, just right there to stop the QB run. They're having none of it. Bringing up another 2nd and 10 for the Inderkum Tigers. But Inderkum, like I was saying, Inderkum's really been one of the dominant forces in all of Northern California this year. And if Roseville were to come out with an upset here, this would be huge, not only for their playoff seeding, but just for the reputation of Roseville football. And it is defended. Tanner Ruby in coverage. J.J. Ray not being able to pass the ball this game, it seems like, except for the one completion to Aaron Espero earlier. And it brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 for the Inderkum Tigers. Roseville's really done their thing on defense this game, stopping Inderkum. Inderkum in their usual formation, and a timeout by Inderkum. Their head coach seeming to be frustrated with under 5 seconds left in the half. Still a tie game, 0-0. A 3rd and 10 for Inderkum, who were blessed with great field position off the interesting, to say the least, punt from Roseville. We'll see if they can capitalize or if they'll have to punt it or maybe even go for the first 4th down conversion of the game. Roseville student section going wild right now. Pink out game. Final game for all the seniors during the regular season. Depending on how this game goes, we'll see how Roseville will be in the playoffs. We'll see if they'll host the game. We'll see if they have to go somewhere, if it'll be at a neutral site. Maybe they could even possibly get a bye for the playoffs, which would be huge. In their division, they've got some really good teams, though, like Capital Christian, Christian Brothers, who've just done their thing. Inderkum, 3rd and 10, and it's a jet sweep to number 7, Dino Watson, and this is what he's done all year. And he gets tripped up, but he does end up getting the 1st down for Inderkum. Dino Watson has been so successful on that all year. And it picks up a 1st down on a long 3rd down for Inderkum. And that is the end of the 1st quarter. Still tied 0-0, Inderkum marching into Roseville territory. Roseville student section, Roseville fans having fun right now. Final regular season game of the season, like I previously mentioned. Final night not only for the seniors on the football team, but for some seniors in band, some seniors in dance, some senior cheerleaders. We appreciate you guys helping show Roseville High School school spirit. We'll see if Roseville gives any more leeway. Inderkum really marching into territory. And excuse me, I was wrong on that last call. It is actually still 4th down. It is a 4th and 4. It appeared Dino Watson got a lot of yards from where he received the ball, but not as many as I thought from the line of scrimmage, leaving a 4th and 4 for Inderkum. They've really established their identity this year. Give it to Aaron Espero, give it to Dino Watson, and they go out for a pass with J.J. Ray. It looks like they were getting held, but it doesn't. And number 7, Dino Watson, is wide open. Great coverage on the back end by Roseville, and he fumbled the ball. They're saying he may be down. Roseville not happy about that, saying he may not have been down yet. Roseville really played great coverage. Pass rush got there. Maybe a possible hold on number 20, Joe Bryce, when he was going after J.J. Ray. It looked like a blatant hold, but it is what it is. Found Dino Watson wide open underneath on the opposite side of the field, and he turned upfield with his dynamic speed for an Inderkum 1st down on the 4th and 4. The give to Aaron Espero, and he runs into another brick wall. On the early downs, it seems like Roseville's defense has really been shutting down Inderkum's run. It's been the pass game that's killed them on 2 big plays to Aaron Espero first, and then Dino Watson on that last one. We'll see if Inderkum has to shy away from their identity, which is give to Aaron Espero, give it to Dino Watson, and occasionally go over the top to Dino Watson, sometimes to the big-bodied tight end, John Lane. Second and 10 for Roseville. And the pass from J.J. Ray, and he goes to the corner of the end zone, and it is a touchdown to the previously mentioned big-body receiver, John Lane. Excuse me, that is not John Lane. That is number 10, D'Angelo Lewis, the 6'3" senior. D'Angelo Lewis with a nice corner route into the end zone. A good throw by J.J. Ray. And Inderkum puts the first points on the board with 10:27 left in the second quarter. Number 30, Brandon Berger up for the extra point, and it is plenty good. 7-0. Inderkum takes the lead. This is where Roseville really has to show their resilience. They really have to come back, march downfield, and at least get a field goal here. Because once Inderkum gets on a roll, they are extremely hard to stop. They're one of the top teams in Northern California, and that is not due to a strength of schedule like some people say. They are a talented and a good team. They've just got speed and athleticism that hardly any schools in, not the world, but any schools in California itself have, until you start going very, very south to top schools in the country like St. John's Bosco and Mater Dei. Number 10, D'Angelo Lewis with a nice touchdown pass on a corner route. Back deep, Malik Bowman and Cole Earhart for the Tigers. Malik Bowman has ran 1 or 2 back this year, one in the Oakmont game, which was one of Roseville's 3 losses. It is Cole Earhart here, though. And no seam at all. Inderkum is just plugging every hole. Special teams, defense, offense. Their holes are getting plugged by Roseville, but the pass game has been what's separated Inderkum this game, and it's the reason they have an early lead. Tigers in a near formation. Give to number 22, Malik Bowman. He maybe had a glimpse of daylight until he gets tackled from behind. Second and maybe 6. Second of 6 for the Tigers. The Roseville Tigers, excuse me. And go back to pass, and the pocket just collapses. Roseville's pass protection not able to take Inderkum's defensive line. With the skill position, Inderkum's got some fast guys, some big guys, but ultimately their athleticism is what separates them. But down in the trenches, they've got some big guys that just know how to just be a terror for opposing offensive lines and quarterbacks. On the sack, John Lane, the big-bodied tight end and outside linebacker, along with a couple other Inderkum Tigers helping them out. A 3rd and 9, I wouldn't be surprised if Roseville runs the ball here. No, they do pass, and it is overthrown. Don't really know if there's a miscommunication or just an errant throw, but nonetheless, Cooper Thompson overthrows him. And Roseville is going to punt for the 3rd time. Roseville has only been in Inderkum territory once this game. It was the first drive, and that was when Joe Bryce unfortunately fumbled. Hopefully a better punt by Roseville this time. And maybe it's not. It may have been tipped. This time it is into Roseville territory, but barely at the 48-yard line, excuse me. I don't know where 52 came from. And now comes Inderkum's offense, maybe with a little confidence, a little hop in their step after that last drive. The great catch by D'Angelo Lewis on the corner route to the end zone. The great throw by J.J. Ray, lofting it over two Roseville defenders. And the give to Aaron Aspero. He shakes a tackle and then trips. Aaron Aspero showing that speed, but also that strength. I would say this year it's been for Inderkum, J.J. Ray, their quarterback, obviously being a leader for that team, and then Aspero and Dino Watson, really, who just carried the ground game. Dino Watson also lining up at receiver often. And this Inderkum offense is interesting as they have a wing just facing inside, not in this formation. Oh, yeah, they do. You see Dino Watson do it. He gets the give this time to the left, and there's a hole, and he's got lead blockers, and he's got some hopping in his step. He keeps fighting for yards up to almost the 30-yard line, maybe the 31, it looks like. A variety of Roseville Tigers there to stop the opposing Tiger, Dino Watson, who is fast, he is big. It seems like all the skill position guys for Inderkum, they're just fast and big, while Roseville has more of that toughness, that Roseville toughness to them. Not being the biggest bunch, but they always put on a fight. We'll see if they can have some fight here, some resilience as Inderkum marches into their territory. And it's past J.J. Ray, and it looks like the same play as last time. D'Angelo Lewis, but great coverage right there by Cade Triplett and number 2, Cole Earhart. A little bit underthrown by J.J. Ray, but still nice coverage. Way to stick with him. I think it was the same exact play that they scored the touchdown on last time. Be a little embarrassing if Roseville let it happen again, just one drive after. It seems like Inderkum's go-to play this year. Nonetheless, though, it is a 2nd and 10. Inderkum coming out in their formations again. And the toss outside, and it is fumbled. It is a fumble. First one to get to the ball, and is Joe Bryce there? Who got it? It looks like Inderkum may have picked it up. Yes, Inderkum picked it up. But a huge loss of yards on the errant toss. Inderkum has the ball, but all the way back into their own territory. This is going to be a 3rd and forever. It's going to be at least a 3rd and 20, maybe even more. A 3rd and 35 for Inderkum here. I wouldn't be surprised if they do anything. I would be surprised if they do anything, but they do pass the ball. It was supposed to be a screen pass. They're going deep. Cole Earhart in coverage. And there's a fight for the ball. What are they going to rule? They're going to rule it incomplete. And number 7, Dino Watson, is heated. He took off his helmet. It's on the ground. He is raging right now. Thought he had the ball, but Cole Earhart ripped it out. It looked like each of them had about equal possession. Inderkum sideline is getting animated right now, to say the least. .6:49 left in the second quarter. 7-0 Inderkum up, looking to punt. An errant halfback toss really caused Inderkum to dig themselves into a hole. And now they're back to punt. Fair catch called for, and he muffs it. He gets back on it, fortunately. Looked up, saw Inderkum defender for a second. 7-0 Inderkum. Ball looking like it's going to be placed at roughly the 20-yard line. Still 7-0 Inderkum. Roughly 6:50 left in the first half. A defensive game to say the least. Let's see if Roseville can march downfield for the first time this game, as Inderkum's defense has really done their thing. Inside handoff and nothing there. Malik Bowman just gets swarmed. Malik, everyone is there to stop him. That Inderkum defense swarms. They get into the backfield fast. Roseville, their strength this year has been running the ball, and Inderkum is just playing to their strengths. Cooper Thompson back to pass, and he's looking for Jackson Shedd, and it's overthrown. Cooper Thompson has not been on his game tonight. The whole Roseville pass game has not been there. 6:07 remaining in the first half. Jackson Shedd looked like he gained some separation on that roughly 10-yard out route. Cooper Thompson with the errant throw. I get it. It is cold out here. It's hard to grip that football. It is hard to throw it. But J.J. Reyes has had a couple errant throws as well. But ultimately, he's also had a touchdown pass, which has separated him. There's some confusion on the field. It looks like they're moving the chains. It looks like Roseville got a first down. Looks like there was maybe pass interference or holding or some sort of call on the play. The refs never really threw down a penalty flag. Jackson Shedd in the slot. Jackson Shedd in motion, and they give it up the middle, and just nothing there. And Roseville continually tries to run it up the middle and continually gets stopped. Inderkum's run defense doing what they've done all year. Inderkum yet to lose the game, not only in league play, but for the whole entire year. Previously, before this, Inderkum's JV team handed Roseville their first loss of the year in a 1-point victory coming down to the final plays of the game. And another Inderkum penalty giving Roseville a first down. I don't know if Inderkum's running their mouths or what is happening right now, but Roseville's catching breaks, getting some penalty yardage. Roseville has the ball at their own 46-yard line. 6 minutes exactly to go left in the first half. Cooper Thompson under center, Jackson Shedd in motion, and they give it to him on the jet sweep. And he actually fights forward for some yards. Oh, and he fumbled the ball. And he outruns Cooper Thompson, and Inderkum has a touchdown. Jackson Shedd with a costly fumble. Looks like number 23 from Inderkum on the play, LaRon Belton. LaRon Belton does his thing. He is feeling good about himself on the sideline right now. Stripped the ball from Jackson Shedd, scooped it up, broke a Cooper Thompson tackle, and now Inderkum is up 13-0, 14-0, barring the extra point, with 5:35 left in the half. A costly mistake by Jackson Shedd. Extra point by Berger here. It is good. 14-0 Inderkum. Two costly fumbles this game by Roseville, putting the ball on the ground. First Joe Bryce, second Jackson Shedd. Jackson Shedd and Joe Bryce maybe being the most reliable pieces on offense for Roseville this year. They're just 2 costly fumbles. And in the game 10 of the year, that just can't happen for Roseville. The Roseville student section, the Tiger Cage just doesn't have that energy they had at the beginning of the game. Inderkum's feeling good about themselves, and now the defense goes back on the field after forcing a turnover and scooping it up for a score. If Roseville wants a chance at winning this game, they have to cut out the mistakes from this point on, because Inderkum, once they get out to a lead, they haven't choked it. I mean, they haven't lost a game this year. So we'll see what happens here. Little pooch kick. Don't know why Roseville fielded it. Connor Wilson took a nasty hit from Inderkum defenders, but he does get the ball to the 34-yard line. Little pooch onside kick. I don't know exactly what that was. I don't really know what that was, but Roseville gets better field position. Not great, but it's better than last drive. Roseville has to do something here. They can't put the ball on the ground. They have to, and they can't get their yardage from penalties like it has been earlier in the game. We'll see if they can capitalize. A very resilient team throughout the season. See if they can show their resilience here. Malik Bowman up the middle and just nothing. All game it's been like that. I don't know if Inderkum's run defense has been like this to all other 9 teams they've played this year, but for Roseville being a run-dominant team, Roseville can't do anything against that defensive line and those linebackers of Inderkum, who just fill the gap so fast. Jackson Shedd in motion, and it's a play-action pass for Cooper Thompson. And he goes over the top to number 8, and he breaks the tackle, and he's gone. That's a Roseville touchdown on the deep pass. Number 8, Terrell Williams. Huge play. Huge play for Roseville. Gets him back in the game. Absolutely torched whoever was in man coverage on him. Went over. Beautiful pass by Cooper Thompson in distress in the pocket, and now it is 14-6, maybe 14-7 with 4:51 left in the first half. What a play. And that gives Roseville back in this game maybe a little confidence swing, maybe a little momentum shifter here in the game. Extra point is good. 14-7, and we are back to a 1-possession game. And Roseville, like that resilience I mentioned earlier, they come back and they just do what they do. If the run game's not working, then they're going to the pass game, and which has really been stuffed all night. I don't think Cooper Thompson or Thomas Robles have had a completion all night. They go over the top with a beautiful play to Terrell Williams. Now Roseville's out to kick it off. Number 6, Devin Harriman was the kicker on that previous extra point, and he'll be kicking it off for the Tigers here with 4:51 left in the first half. Heck of a game so far. Inderkum really had most of the momentum up until this last play, where Terrell Williams took the top off the secondary. Huge touchdown. And now Roseville student section, the Tiger Cage, has their life back. Little juggle by Aaron Aspero. He kind of stutters, not really running. Now he puts it into full gear. And he gets tackled down at the 27-28 line. And now here comes Roseville defense. Maybe a little confidence could come in their step. Maybe they could get a little more confident here. The offense did their part. Defense has to do theirs now. And the defense really has done their part all game except for that one drive where they let the big completion for the touchdown happen on the corner route to the right corner of the end zone. But we'll see what they do. Inderkum coming out in their usual formation with the wing turned inward. Dino Watson goes in motion, and he gets the inside handoff, and he has got room. But great tackling. I will say Roseville has tackled just great tonight. There's only been one or two plays where Inderkum players break tackles. It seems like at first contact, Roseville defenders always at least either slow the Inderkum defenders down, or they just tackle them, just like that. Coaches always tell their players not to arm tackle, but right there the arm tackle worked. I believe that was Joe Bryce on the tackle, by far Roseville's MVP this year. In the pass. Oh, and there goes Cade Triplett. Big hit on the flat route, incomplete, intended for Dino Watson. Cade Triplett was right on his tail, and ultimately it brings up a 3rd and 10 here for Inderkum. .4:16 left in the first half. 14-7. The Inderkum Tigers are leading the Roseville Tigers. And it is an end around to Aaron Aspero, and he's got room, but Tommy Spencer is there to slow him down. Looks like he tripped. It's been the second or third time tonight that Aspero's kind of gotten tripped up from the turf. Don't really know if there's a problem with the turf or with his cleats, but it's unusual of Aspero. Third and 1. I would be surprised if Inderkum did anything but run the ball up the middle, or maybe a little jet sweep to Dino Watson here. And it's a QB kicker to JJ Ray, and he just runs into a wall. JJ Ray, that's the second QB keeper of the night, and he just can't do anything. A loss of yardage here. We're looking at maybe a 4th and 2, a 4th and 3 with 3:19 left in the first half, and that clock is still ticking. We'll see if Inderkum decides to punt it here, if they're going for it. And it looks like they're sending the offense out onto the field. It looks like they're going for it on a huge 4th down here. If Roseville's able to stop them, they'll have good field position and possibly have a chance to tie the game up. But it all depends on this 4th and short. They're listed as a 4th and 1. It looks more like a 4th and 2, 4th and 2.5-ish. But Inderkum in a heavy set. They're trying to draw Roseville offsides, and they do. They do. Looks like one Roseville defender may have slightly jumped into the neutral zone for a neutral zone infraction. Roseville players not happy with the call, but they've got to bounce back. They've got to go through it. I think Roseville knew that they were going to do that. Just the formation they were in kind of threw them off. They haven't been in that heavy set all night. That jumbo, whatever you want to call it. Looks like a goal line almost. Now Inderkum's back in their normal formation, and it's a handoff up the middle and nothing. Both teams have just all the inside runs. Every run going through the A-gap, B-gap, C-gap has been stopped this game. Which the runs that have really been successful for Inderkum have been the jet sweeps. One to Aspero, a couple to Dino Watson, who's been their jet sweep guy all year. Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9, with 2 minutes left in the first half. Still 14-7 Roseville over Inderkum. Or Inderkum over Roseville, excuse me. And it's an inside, it's a pass. And wide open in the flat. Looks like a good enough for a first down. It looked like John Lane, the big tight end on the catch, shedding a tackle. Inderkum is back, and it's an inside run, and it's Aspero, and he shakes a guy. Phenomenal move by Aspero. Tries maybe for a little hurdle towards the end of the play. It's tripped up, and now the Inderkum Tigers are in the red zone. This is where Roseville's defense has to step up. They can't. Right now, Inderkum is definitely in field goal range. Stop him here, maybe. Just no touchdowns for Roseville going into half. And it's a pass, and it's a little flat route to Sparrow, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 1:08 left in the half. Each team still with 2 timeouts. Little motion, and it's a run up the middle. And Roseville defenders are there on first contact. But it is a good run. Looks like to Willie Hardy Jr., the fullback for Inderkum. Under a minute left with 55 seconds, and it looks like Inderkum took a timeout. Yes, Inderkum takes a timeout. 1 timeout remaining for them in the half. It is a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. As from that play, we saw a first down. (14-7) Inderkum over Roseville right now. Inderkum after a frustrating big touchdown. We see Roseville start to give a little leeway defensively. 14-7, 55 seconds left in the half. Roseville still with 2 timeouts, Inderkum only with 1. Inderkum needs 3 yards to get it into the end zone, and they got 4 tries at it, unless some poor time management skills come into play. Inderkum's guy in the red zone this year has been Aaron Aspero, number 2. We'll see if Roseville has his eye on Aspero right now. Inderkum hardly ever passes the ball when they're this close to the red zone, but I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe find the big tight end John Lane. Roseville's defense here in pass coverage, they've had 1 blown assignment, or not even blown assignment. It was just a great play by Inderkum. Other than that, passing-wise, Roseville's been pretty decent this game. Inderkum's going to get, looks like they're in their normal formation as usual. Got the wing turned inwards. Couple guys in the backfield. They always have that receiver, usually Dino Watson, go in motion. We'll see if that affects any of Roseville defender. It's always nice to have that defender, that offensive player in motion. Just it keeps the defense guessing. Roseville can't keep guessing. They have to know where the ball's going. That's what you have a week of film to prepare for this. They're having some scoreboard technical difficulties right now, but the clock has been changed from 55 seconds to 1 minute and 2 seconds. And the handoff up to middle to Aspero. And did he get in? It looks like it's going to be right, just a couple inches from the goal line. Aspero made a little lunge at the goal line, but Roseville defenders are there to swarm. Inderkum's hurrying it up. Roseville's defense there, they got to get. Inderkum is in a heavy set. Wouldn't be surprised, and it's Aspero again, or is that's number 5, the big fullback, Willie Hardy Jr. for the touchdown. And Inderkum extends their lead right before half. A rough end to the half for Roseville and their defense. 37 seconds left in this half. Brandon Berger back for the extra point, and it is good. So if this is the time for a big Malik Bowman or Cole Earhart return, if there's any time for it, it's right now. 37 seconds left in the half. If Roseville doesn't get a huge return here, I would fully expect them to just run the ball. Maybe a little trickery, but I doubt they want to give Inderkum the ball in Roseville territory. Inderkum maybe with a little sly onside kick here. They have done that in the past. That last kickoff that Inderkum had was a little weird pooch kick thing. I don't know if that was meant to be an onside kick or not, but we'll see here. Berger back to kick. Ericart and Malik Bowman back to receive. And it is a normal kickoff. And it looks like Ericart's going to take it and run upfield, and he had a little glimpse of light, but those Inderkum special teamers really make a push, stop Ericart. It was Ruby back there for the kickoff. And 30 seconds left in the first half for Roseville. We'll see how aggressive they are to finish off the half, if they'll just run the ball. Inderkum does receive the second half kickoff.
We leaving. We'll go to the bus. 30 seconds.
A run up the middle. Yeah, very safe, but Malik Bowman has a glimpse of light up to the 40-yard line as looks like Roseville takes a timeout. Stop the clock at 20 seconds. Still 21-7 Inderkum. 3 touchdowns to 1 L, and they did not take a timeout. They're hurrying it up. Tanner Ruby in motion to the right. Looks like they might be taking a shot here over the middle to Terrell Williams, I believe. Yep, Terrell Williams on the catch. And Roseville takes a timeout.
Ah!
8 seconds left in the half. 21-7. Inderkum over Roseville. Will Roseville pull out any trickery on this play? Roseville possibly scheming up something here. Maybe we see a halfback pass, or maybe we just see a typical run. Malik Bowman on that carry to start off the drive, that was the biggest run of the night for Roseville. Now score, and Roseville takes their final timeout. One last shot for the end zone. Roseville still hanging in with the very talented, athletic Inderkum team. If Roseville could somehow pull off a miracle here before half, it would be huge, especially because Inderkum gets the ball after the half. And realistically, if Roseville doesn't score here and Inderkum does after half, Roseville's going to have an extremely hard time getting back into the game. I'm not saying like winning, like just getting back into the game. Making it a one-possession game will be extremely hard. Need a momentum shifter. This would be huge. But, of course, you're asking for a lot. Inderkum's got 2 safeties back, one of them being Aaron Aspero. And Inderkum pass. welcome back here to Hanson Field for the second half of Battle of the Tigers, Roseville and Inderkum. Inderkum with a 21-7 lead currently. Really, Inderkum's ability to stop Roseville's run game with Joe Bryce, Malik Bowman, Cole Ericart, even a couple jet sweeps to Jackson Shed. They've all been shut down except for one really inside handoff to Malik Bowman towards the end of the half. Inderkum comes in, and I believe they will be receiving the kickoff. Inderkum, Roseville's hanging in there, but one score and Inderkum could be off to the races and off to a 10-0 season, which is a very difficult thing to accomplish. Especially, it's been very hard for Inderkum this year. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not been hard, but they've had to face some tough teams. They've had to face Del Oro. They've had to face Yuba City. I had to face Oakmont, and Roseville did not play Del Oro, but they did play Oakmont and Yuba City, and they lost both games. Those are 2 of the 3 losses for Roseville this year, and they were killers. But we will see how Roseville responds. That's the word I'm looking for. Responds. We'll see how Roseville responds to this Inderkum. Really, this just passing attack that has started to heat up a little bit. Roseville's kept it in check. There's been a couple big completions here and there. The inside run game for Inderkum has been very subpar due to a great Roseville defensive performance this year. Not only this year, but this game. But right now, it's really that Inderkum defense that's really made it hard for Roseville. They've had one huge mistake, which was the huge touchdown to Terrell Williams. And other than that, it has been Inderkum all the way. We'll see how Roseville can respond. Maybe some animated. There may have been some animated talk speeches, some animated pep talks in the Roseville locker room or wherever they met during halftime. We'll see if that sparks any change in the momentum of this game. Back deep to receive for Inderkum is number 2, Aaron Aspero, their touchdown machine from this year. (21-7) Inderkum. The 9-0 Inderkum Tigers versus the 6-3 Roseville Tigers. Roseville being 4-1 in league play, Inderkum being 5-0, and we are underway. And it is a squib kick, fielded and breaking a couple tackles. Ultimately, there Joe Bryce, number 20, and Brent Knudsen, number 25, on the tackle. Here comes Roseville's defense. They need to stop here. If they don't, like I've previously mentioned, it will be very, very, very difficult for them to come back. Inderkum coming back in there, normal formation as usual, and the handoff inside and not really breaking, but just forcing his way for a couple more yards is the big fullback, Willie Hardy Jr. This Inderkum team led by almost all seniors. Their big players, Aaron Aspero, a senior, J.J. Ray, a senior, John Lane, a senior, Dino Watson, a senior. And it's an inside run to Dino Watson, and he's got a hole, and that acceleration through the hole is so hard to keep up with for the Roseville D lineman. That little almost wide receiver inside handoff is so lethal for this Inderkum Tigers offensive attack. (11:15) left in the half. An inside handoff to Willie Hardy Jr. He bounces off a tackle, but ultimately there is number 78. Braden Grover, excuse me. What I've noticed about Inderkum is, like I've said, their whole team is athletic, but it seems like their offensive linemen, their ability to get upfield to the second level is just absurd for some linemen. a pass. They're going to that corner route that was so lethal earlier, and it is wide open. It is wide open, and he dropped it. Roseville catches a break. It was well defended with the face guarding technique, which was just made legal this year. Cole Earhart in coverage. Ooh, that corner route, that deep corner, that deep fade, whatever you want to call it, has been so good for Inderkum this whole year. 3rd and 11. The student section still getting into it. One more score from Inderkum, it will probably start to shush that student section. That student section always keeping that energy. 21-7. Inderkum up with 10:24 left in the 3rd quarter. It's a pass, no play action, and it is dropped by Aaron Aspero. 2 straight drops, which will bring up a 4th and 11. 10:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Roseville chanting Butterfingers right now. Roseville trying to get in the head of the Inderkum players. Roseville hoping it'll work. And Inderkum is going for this 4th and 11. This is a surprising move. Looking like it's a pass, not even a play action. And it is dropped again. It was an errant throw, but still it hit the hands of the receiver. Roseville gets the ball in Inderkum territory at the 36-yard line. Bowman in the backfield for the Tigers. And it is a handoff to him. Looks like a power. And he just, he's fighting for a couple yards. But those Inderkum defenders are so good at stopping the run. Tough game for Malik Bowman today as he exits off the field. Number 20, Joe Bryce is in. The leader of this Roseville Tigers team. Rocking the orange crush uniforms today. 9:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Terrell Williams lined up on the left. Jackson Shed lined up at the top of your screen. And it's an inside run. Oh, and number 18, Carlos Alvarez, the fullback, gets some daylight, but then is immediately taken away from him. Dragged from behind from Inderkum defenders. 21-7 still. 9:15 left in the half. A 3rd and 3 for Roseville here. Inderkum getting some defensive chance in for their own. And a timeout for Roseville. Roseville taking a costly timeout. It could come back to bite them this early in the 2nd half. They're already taking a timeout of theirs. Could come back to bite them if they're in a come from behind situation. They need some stops later in the game. But for right now, they're taking a timeout. This 3rd and 3 is huge. Roseville came up with the defensive stop they needed. They got to capitalize on offense now. And it has to keep going with this 3rd and 3. The run game's actually gotten some yards. Most of the game has been 1-yard gains, no yard gains, negative yard gains. But Inderkum's bringing in some of their big fellas right now, hoping to plug the run. Plug the A gap, the B gap, the C gap. Three backs in the backfield for Roseville here. Thomas Robles under center, It's Joe Bryce, and he's fighting for yards, and he gets pushed backwards. Inderkum run defense doing what they do best, which is pretty much what they're supposed to do. And we'll see if Roseville goes for it, and it looks like they are. It looks like they're keeping the offense out on the field. for a huge 4th and 3. The Tiger Cage is getting into it. Thomas Robles will be under center. Will they pass it? Will they continue with the run game? I would be surprised if they don't pass it here. We got 3 backs in the backfield, and it's a toss to Cole Aircar, and he cuts up, and he has got daylight. A first down for Roseville. Cole Aircar on the toss. Last time Roseville went with the toss, it was a Joe Bryce fumble, so it was good to see them get back into it. And perhaps all that running up the middle has kept Inderkum honest and allowed an outside run to happen. One of the biggest runs of the game tonight, and not saying a lot since that was an 8-yard game, but Roseville will take it. 2 receivers out to the left, Jackson Shedd and Terrell Williams. In I formation, the handoff on the power to Malik Bowman. Oh, and he gets taken down. Inderkum's number 21, Joey Rogers, who has to be at least a half a foot taller than Malik Bowman. Just threw him to the ground there. Cooper Thompson is in the game, perhaps a pass play due to him being in. Seems like Thomas Robles is their handoff, their run game kind of quarterback. And it's a reverse. It's a reverse to Tanner Ruby, and he has daylight, cuts up field for maybe a Roseville first down. A little trickery by Roseville there. And it looks like it's going to be, are they ruling it second down? Nope, it is a first down for the Roseville Tigers in their orange uniforms. Looking nice in this first day of November. 7:08 left on the clock, 21-7. Inderkum still leading. Roseville driving. Inside handoff to Carlos Alvarez, and he fights for yards. Roseville's doing what they need to do. They're just fighting for yards, and even though it may not be any, it chips away that Inderkum defense, because eventually Roseville's going to keep going to the run game, and eventually this Inderkum defense has to tire out. If they don't, then we have to check what's in their food or something, because outside pitch, Cole Aircar. Oh, and it appears like he fumbled, and Inderkum has recovered. Oh, and they took it away from Inderkum. They're ruling that he is down. Inderkum players are getting in the ref's face. This is Roseville. Oh, and they rule Inderkum's ball. After some deciding with the refs, after a little negotiation, Inderkum takes the ball, and a third fumble of the game. Each time it's been a different ball carrier. Jackson Shedd once, Joe Bryce start on the first drive of the game, and now Cole Aircart, and it is costly. Defense needs another stop, so that was just a waste. That was ultimately just a waste of 4 minutes. Granted, it tired out the Inderkum defense a little bit, but that just cannot happen. Run play to Espero, cuts up. He's got such a good juke move. Joe Bryce eventually takes him down at the Roseville 49-yard line. And there's a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is. Holding on Inderkum. It did appear that Tommy Spencer may have been held on the play. I mean, I don't blame the Inderkum lineman that held him. Perhaps there's some discussion for the refs. They are moving the ball back 10 yards for the holding call. I saw an Inderkum lineman holding Tommy Spencer. I believe that is the rightful call on that play. So now it's a 1st and long for Inderkum. Roseville's defense caught a break on the big play from Aspero. J.J. Ray under center. It's a little inside handoff to, and there goes Dino Watson. And those yards that were lost have been made right back on the same exact play, just to a different player. Dino Watson with a huge play. He's been doing that all year. .544 left in the half. 21-7 Inderkum, but they are driving. It looks like this Roseville defense is starting to tire out a little bit. Inside handoff to Aaron Aspero, and it's kept by J.J. Ray. J.J. Ray's done that 3 times tonight, and not once has he, I think he's gained 1 yard on one of them. The Roseville defense really helping out the offense in some situations, but Aspero and Dino Watson, they just have to be kept under check right now, because if they keep running that little draw, whatever you want to call it, I would say it's more like a little jet sweep draw kind of play, if you will. They've got to stop that if they want to be successful tonight. 2nd and 10. No motion this time, and it's a little reverse to Dino Watson, and he gets tripped up, but he still fights for yards. It seems as if the Roseville defense is a little fatigued. What I was talking about, what Roseville was trying to do to Inderkum, tire him out, keep him honest. It looks like Inderkum's doing the same exact thing. Roseville last drive had a little trickery of their own. Now Inderkum does it right back. Looks like maybe a 3rd and 5. 3rd and 7, excuse me. We've got 2 receivers out to the bottom of your screen. It is a pass, no play action, over the middle, and it is overthrown by J.J. Ray. J.J. Ray has had a couple of those tonight. So has Cooper Thompson for the Tigers. I don't know if it has to do with the more cold conditions that these Northern California teams are not used to, but Inderkum back to punt. Back deep to receive, number 2, Cole Earhart, who was responsible for the fumble on the last drive. We'll see if he can bounce back with a big punt return, on this drive, on this play. Looks like a wobbler. They're yelling Peter, meaning get away from the ball, and it is down at the 28-yard line. All right, Roseville offense back out here. They need to get a score. They've had one big play this entire game. Other than that, Inderkum's kept them in check. A defensive game, to say the least. And they go back passing this time, and Jackson Shedd is deep. Oh, and it hits his hands, and he drops it. Jackson Shedd. Now Inderkum fans giving their own Butterfingers chant to Jackson Shedd, the senior. Jackson Shedd had a huge play, hit the tip of his hands. Maybe slightly overthrown by Cooper Thompson, but still, if it hits your hands, you should catch it. Jackson Shedd with a mistake. It worked, though, and now Inderkum's going to have to play the pass a little more. The pass game has worked. The Roseville receivers have gotten separation this game, and it's an inside handoff to Joe Bryce, and after a little bit of a hole, he gets slammed down by an Inderkum linebacker. A gain of maybe 5 on the play. We're looking at maybe a 3rd and 5 here. Terrell Williams lined up at the bottom of your screen at wideout. It's a toss to Cole Earhart, the play he fumbled on last drive, and he cuts it up for a Roseville first down. That toss play has been reliable this night. Granted, we fumbled on it twice, but Roseville has gone back to it, and it has gotten them a first down. Can't put the ball on the ground, and Roseville will be successful. Eating away at that Inderkum defense. They're bound to break eventually like they did on that one huge scoring play in the first half. Cooper Thompson is in, perhaps a passing play. The passing plays, they've gained separation over the top tonight. The Inderkum defenders really cheat in a lot. And it's to Tanner Ruby, cuts it up, fights for some yards, keeps fighting. He keeps fighting, and now he's pushed for forward progress. Oh. Number 15, perhaps a little aggression towards the end of the play. Sean Switzer on the tackle, along with an assortment of Inderkum defenders. Earhart is checked back into the game. Jackson Shedd is checked back into the game, and Cooper Thompson is in at quarterback again. Interesting how Roseville somewhat rotates between Cooper Thompson and Thomas Robles at quarterback. Cooper Thompson on the toss to Cole Earhart, and he passes it, and it's to Shedd, and Shedd is wide open up the sidelines, and he's gone. Touchdown, Roseville. Jackson Shedd on the trick play. You were waiting for it. You got it. The toss to Cole Earhart, who goes over the top to Jackson Shedd, and we've got a ball game, folks, 21-13. Inderkum still up. It is a one-possession game now. The Inderkum corner bit on the toss. Jackson Shedd freed up over the top. Good enough throw by Cole Earhart. Cole Earhart did a great job at selling it on that. The kick is up, and the kick is not pretty, but it is good. And it is a 7-point game. And the Tigers are motivated. The Roseville Tigers. Inderkum, heads are down right now. We'll see if that offense can bounce back. We'll see if J.J. Ray can make a couple of clutch throws. (21-14) with 1:55 left in the third quarter. The cheerleaders doing their kicks for how many points that their Roseville Tigers have. Usual tradition for every game. Good kick. Dino Watson back to receive. Cuts it up to the right. Roseville players are penetrating, and there goes Joe Bryce forcing him out. And Joe Bryce lights up Dino Watson. I'm sorry to all our viewers, but the stream will be lost for a couple of minutes. We will be right back for the conclusion of this battle between the two teams of Tigers. A good play by the Roseville defense, stopping the run to the right. 1:35 remaining in the third quarter. Getting some defense chance on the Roseville sidelines, on the Roseville bleachers. Student section getting into it. 1 minute, 13 seconds left in the third quarter. J.J. Ray under center. And it's that inside handoff to Dino Watson, and Roseville's there. It worked last drive. It's not working anymore. Roseville perhaps has some confidence right now, and perhaps Inderkum is wearing out a little bit. But for right now, it is 21-14 still. One possession game. Tommy Brown checks into the game for Tommy Spencer. A pass for J.J. Ray, and there's pressure there. He's off his, throws off balance, incomplete pass into a crowd of Tiger players from both teams. 26.8 seconds left in the third quarter, and Inderkum is going to punt, and Roseville's going to get a chance, barring a fake punt or a penalty, to come downfield and tie up the game. Tanner Ruby and Cole Earhart, number 1 and number 2, the senior and the junior, back deep to receive the punt. A wobbly punt. Punters have not had a good night tonight. Everyone's yelling Peter to get away from it, and it looks like an Inderkum player had a little cheap shot on a Roseville player, shoved him to the ground, and was going at him. No penalty thrown. I think that was a poor call. The referees did not see it. I don't know who it was, but an Inderkum player pushed a Roseville Tiger to the ground and was going at him. We are about to go offline. I am sorry to all our viewers, but we will be back for the conclusion of this game.
We're going back.
Welcome back to Hanson Field. 11:20 remaining in the fourth quarter with Inderkum up 21-14 over Roseville. The play you just missed was a sack. A little deep pass play was set up to Jackson Shedd, but Cooper Thompson didn't have time, and the Inderkum defender swarmed to it. We have a 3rd and 17 here. Cooper Thompson dropping back to pass again, and it is off the hands of Jackson Shedd. 21-14 still, Inderkum over Roseville. And it looks like Roseville will be punting here on a 4th and long. I would be surprised if they did anything but that. We've got a good game between two Tiger squads going on here at Roseville High School. Each crowd from each Tiger team getting into it, giving their Butterfinger chance, whatever they want to get in the heads of it. Looked as if it might be a fake punt. It was just a bad snap. Aaron Esparro fields it, fakes back. He has got some moves, but he is dragged down. It seems like every time Roseville makes a good play, the student section gets into it even more and more. This pink out theme for tonight's game in honor of breast cancer awareness. 11:06 left in the game. A little motion to Gino Watson. It's an inside handoff, and he is tripped up. The Inderkum stands are silent right now. Number 23, Aiden Munns on the tackle to Willie Hardy Jr.'s handoff up the middle. We've got a loss of a yard on the play, and it is 2nd and 11. 10:30 left roughly in the game. Inderkum up by 1 score, 21-14, and it is one of those handoffs. Even though he continues to break tackles, he is pushed backwards. Dino Watson is going nowhere. And Roseville's getting into it. A 3rd and long. We're going to see if Inderkum can convert here or if the Roseville defense can stand strong. The run game's starting to get shut down by Roseville. Kyle Maddox on the tackle in the backfield. It has been a little bit of a chippy game. no penalties for unnecessary roughness or anything, but it has been a little chippy. There was one roughing the passer penalty early in the game. J.J. Ray, and there is a timeout for Inderkum, and that is costly. And Aaron Aspero is not happy. (21-14) still, 9:49 left in the game. It is a 7-point game, and we have a monumental 3rd and 10 right here for the Inderkum Tigers against this Roseville Tigers defense. Like previously mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, the winner of this game takes the league, takes the division, if you will, not all of Division II, but the league that they're in. Whoever wins this will have defeated the team that they're playing tonight, Wood Creek, River Valley, Yuba City. This is a big game. Antelope as well, not to mention. So this is big. Roseville one league loss so far, and it is to Yuba City. If they were to lose to Inderkum tonight, it would be their second. Other two coming out of league. Inderkum has not lost a game all year. If they were to lose this game, this would be their first of the year. Inderkum with their wing on the left side, 2 receivers at the top of your screen. J.J. Ray goes back to pass, and it is a big play. It is a huge play, a strike over the middle on a little post route to the fullback, Willie Hardy Jr., the big fullback. And right when Roseville thought they had some momentum, Inderkum shuts them up, and 9:40 left in the half. Now Inderkum's getting into scoring territory. Roseville really needs to stop. Inderkum's just going to try and eat away at the clock, which is the worst thing to happen to Roseville this game. That was a huge 3rd down conversion for Inderkum. They're in a heavy set, and it's a little end around to Dino Watson. He does get taken down eventually by a herd of Tiger defenders. Oh, and Dino Watson's getting mad. Tigers playing hard to the whistle, and Dino Watson doesn't like it. Inderkum's talking to Roseville. Roseville's talking a little bit. It's been the Roseville sidelines, the Roseville student section that's been most of the talk in this game, not really the players. We've seen the Inderkum stands at some moments talking, the players talking at moments like that. Just a little motion. Aaron Aspero up the middle. Oh, and he gets rocked. It is a 3rd down maybe 4, 5, 6. Third and manageable. A 3rd and 2, actually, excuse me. Would not be surprised. Inderkum's got 2 guys going out wide. Dino Watson at the top of your screen. Oh, and a false start. It looks as if it's a false start. False start on Inderkum, and now it makes it a 3rd and 7, and they might have to go with a pass here. Roseville student section chanting, "You can't do that." Inderkum with 2 backs in the backfield. Dino Watson at the top of your screen, and it's a handoff up the middle to Aspero, and he cuts a couple tackles. Did he fight for the first down? We will see. Aspero's so good at being shifty, getting around tacklers. And it looks like it is a 4th down. 4th down and 2, it looks like. Looks like he gained the yardage back from the false start penalty, and they're going for it. They're not kicking a field goal. It may be a little deep for a field goal. I believe their kicker can hit it. I saw him in warm-ups. But 7 minutes left in the game. It looks like Inderkum's coming out in a heavy set. Perhaps they draw. I would not be surprised if they try Roseville offsides here. last thing Roseville can do is jump. And they just run it up the middle. And Willie Hardy Jr., did he get it? It is hard to see from my angle up here. There's a flag. What's the flag on? What's the flag on? Is it on Inderkum or Roseville? It looks like there was a little bit of chippiness at the end of the play. We'll see what the referee signals. Inderkum's cost themselves a lot this game with penalties. It looks like Inderkum did get the first down on the carry. And a rough penalty on Inderkum there. Roseville's getting in their heads. They are making some costly penalties right now. Will this stay a fourth down or a first down? We will see. I do not know at the moment. Roseville changing. You can't do that once again. It is a first down, but it is a first down and long. Looks like a first down and 20, first down and 25, maybe 15. Looked like it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Inderkum after the play. What is whistled off here? Was there a penalty? Looks like Inderkum players are surrounding the referees. Oh, no, it was just a stoppage of play, I guess. 6:42 left in the game. Inderkum under center. They hand off up the middle to Watson, and he's got a hole, and he breaks a tackle. And the Roseville run game is just, the Roseville run defense is starting to get eaten alive here later in the game. Roseville's hung in there, but Inderkum just wearing them out right now. Roseville needs a stop, and they need one fast. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Inderkum is in the red zone. This is where Inderkum usually goes with their little fade route to the corner of the end zone. I doubt they'll do that here. They just want to run the ball. They don't want to risk any interceptions, and they just give it to Willie Hardy Jr. and he is fighting for yards, but Roseville is there. Gets right back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10. .543 left in the game. Time is becoming a factor here. If Roseville does come up with a stop, they're going to have to march all the way down the field and have the time not on their side ticking against them. They're going to come in their usual formation. It's a rollout pass. They're going to the corner in the end zone, it looks like, and Joe Bryce misses a tackle. And J.J. Ray is just doing it. Oh, and he fumbled. And did Joe Bryce get on it? It looks like J.J. Ray got right back on the ball, but a costly mistake by J.J. Ray has not been his best night tonight. I don't know why he didn't just get rid of the ball, but Roseville will take it, and it is another third and long. Inderkum had one of these earlier in the first half. 21-14, 4:56 left in the game. A third and 27. Roseville can't let anything big happen here. They came very close to a turnover, which would have been huge. They can't let anything big happen here. And there's a flag, and is that a false start or an offsides or what? False start. So that just adds another 5 yards to Inderkum, and now it's a third and 32. And I bet we're going to hear some "you can't do that" chants. Okay, we're not. All right, well. Oh, no, there it is. Third and 32. Inderkum will likely just run the ball here. Roseville cannot let a big play happen. They can't especially let them get into field goal range, which would be huge. Dino Watson at the top of the screen, Aaron Espero in the slot. They're going deep. They're going deep. Roseville's getting there. Are they going to sack him? Joe Bryce is there, and Joe Bryce gets the sack. And it is Inderkum just got sacked into Roseville territory now, or into their own territory. This is gonna be a 4th and at least 40. Costly mistakes by the quarterback JJ Ray. He just needs to get rid of the ball, just throw it away. But he has not been able to. That Roseville pass rush is eating right now. JJ Ray is getting an earful from his head coach right now on the sidelines. 3:45 left in the game. Inderkum's going to be punting, barring a mistake, a turnover, or like a fake punt or something, which I doubt they'll do. Oh, almost got there on the fake punt. They're going to stay away from it, and they're going to down it at the 20-yard line. So here comes the Roseville offense. 3.5 minutes left in the game. They've got 2 timeouts. So does Inderkum. They're down by 7. The ball will be at the 20-yard line. They've got 3.5 minutes to march downfield, score, and kick the extra point to either put it into overtime or take the 2-point conversion to win it. But for right now, they've got 80 yards to go. It is a long field against a good Inderkum defense. JJ Ray on the sidelines getting animated. Pass play for Cooper Thompson, and it is dropped. Terrell Williams drops it. Butterfinger chance coming on the Inderkum stands right now. The band's getting into it, dance team's getting into it, cheerleaders getting into it. This is what Roseville football is all about. You need a touchdown here to win it. This is the first winning season in a minute now for Roseville. It's been a while since they've had a winning season, and it would be awesome to end it in a huge upset over a very good team and win their league. But for right now, we got 80 yards to go downfield. Motion, he's going back to pass, and it's a little screen pass. They've got blockers, but the blockers didn't do their job, and that's a loss of 10. And that is a costly play. Inderkum sniffed it out, got right past the 3 lead blockers. It's gonna be a 3rd and long here. And that's the one thing Roseville can't do. They're in 4-down territory throughout the whole field. They have to go for 4th down here. So the question here is, will they try and chip away at the yardage or take a shot for the 1st down? Will they try and make it a 4th and manageable or make it 1st down here? We'll see what Roseville does. They're obviously passing the ball here. And Cooper Thompson is, what looked like was going to be a climactic end to this Roseville regular season may end up not being as exciting as we thought it was. They've got a 4th and 21, I believe, right now. 22, 4th and 22. They're going to have to take a shot. The Inderkum defenders know that it's going deep. We'll see if they can stop it. Terrell Williams catches it, but on a deep post. But he is down. A gain of about 15. But now the Inderkum offense is back on the field, and you can bet that they're just going to run the ball and try and eat away at the clock. Terrell Williams with a nice catch, but unfortunately it was not deep enough for a 1st down. If Inderkum gets a 1st down here, it is the game. 1 1st down, it is over. So will the Roseville defense be able to hold up strong, possibly give the offense a miracle shot? Or is Inderkum just going to eat the clock and finish this game over? You can bet Roseville defenders are going to be going for that peanut punch. Aaron Aspero fights for yards, and he keeps fighting, and that is the one thing that can't happen. Aaron Aspero doing what he's done best. He still has the ball. He still got out of the dog pile, but forward progress was called. We are going to have a 2nd down, but it's going to be, I would imagine it would be a 2nd and short. It's a 2nd and 3, yes. No timeout called here. They're going to use this play clock. They're going to get it down. Inderkum's going to get it down as far as possible. Two backs in the backfield for Inderkum. They're waiting for the play clock to start ticking down to the final second. J.J. Ray under center. Roseville defense knowing it's a run, and it's a run up the middle to Espero. And he bounces outside, and that's a first down. And folks, that may be the game. For what looked like it would be a dramatic finish. What looked like would be a dramatic finish. Looks like it might be the game. Roseville's taking a timeout, just hoping for a fumble, but I would imagine the only thing Inderkum would do here was take a knee. 21-14, 56 seconds left. Roseville would need a miracle here to win it. Even a miracle to just get the ball back. And who knows, J.J. Ray has made mistakes this game. Unfortunately, this is how senior night will end up for the Roseville Tigers. Roseville, we will see who they play in their playoff game. If they do end up losing this game, which it looks like will happen, they will likely, it'll be a throw. We'll see if they'll be home at a neutral site on the road. Who knows what will happen? If they won this, they pretty much solidified a spot to play another home game in the playoffs. We'll see who they have. They've got some pretty good teams, but no teams from their division, from their league, besides River Valley, are in their playoff bracket. And they did beat River Valley earlier in the year. Inderkum, meanwhile, will finish with a perfect season. Yep, and that is it, folks. Inderkum will finish with a perfect season, 10-0, one of the top teams in Northern California. Impressive for that, considering there has been some fires in the Natomas area. It is a rough night for Roseville, but they played till the end. Inderkum's freshman team wins, their JV team wins, and their varsity team wins, all in relatively close games. I can't imagine that Inderkum would do anything but take a knee here, as Roseville saw in the game on a little longer. But Inderkum played well. Offensively, they didn't really do anything too special. J.J. Ray had that touchdown earlier in the game on the into the back right corner of the end zone on the scoreboard side of the field. The defense picked up the Jackson Shed fumble for a touchdown. And then, of course, the Aaron Espero touchdown. Or not the Willie Hardy Jr. touchdown. That gave them that 20th point, extra point, giving them 21. Meanwhile, Roseville really did what they needed to do this game. They shut down the run game for the most part. There was a couple big plays, but ultimately, their efforts weren't enough. They were out. I wouldn't say they were outsmarted, but they were just outplayed. I mean, Inderkum's got athletic dudes all across the field. Roseville played their hearts out. We'll see how they do in the playoffs. Inderkum will be a relatively high seed in their separate division bracket. Roseville will be a relatively average seed. They won't be too high, but they won't be too low. A 6-4 winning season for the Roseville Tigers, by far better than last year. Seems like all the teams, the freshman team for Roseville did better than last year. JV, one game worse than last year, but 9-1 is still incredible. Inderkum is getting excited for this. Unfortunately for Roseville, they have lost on senior night. Tommy Spencer may have one more game on him. We'll see how the playoffs go, but for right now, the final score from tonight's game is 21 Inderkum, 14 Roseville. Tommy Spencer, the Oregon State recruit. This will be a good game. Coach Catalico shaking hands with the Inderkum head coach. They give their final high fives. It was a good game. We saw it go down to the end. But for now, it is a final score of Inderkum 21 and Roseville 14. Inderkum's defense iced it for them. Inderkum's defense is really what carried them to this win. And on senior night for Roseville, they end up in a heartbreaking defeat. But we will see how both teams do. Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline being played. They are CVC champs. Inderkum is. Thank you for joining us on this broadcast tonight. We appreciate you guys all tuning in to senior night. This was a big night for Roseville High School. Final regular season game of the year. Inderkum has won their league now with a final score of 21-14. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys.